All right, I think I'm all ready and set to go. This is the course introduction video for my Guidance 507 14-week class in spring of 2023. I can't believe we're in 2023. I think that means I've been teaching at Chafee for 18 years. And I've literally been teaching this class since the day it started. I think back in 2007 was our first year. And I've been a part of this program ever since. I apologize. I'm very stuffed up. I've got allergies. So I might sound like a little stuffy and I might have to like grab emergency Kleenex and things like that. But I'm just doing my best here. So there's a lot of things I have to go through. I'm going to try to go through them quickly. It is important that you watch this whole video because it contains really important information about your semester. I didn't necessarily put them in importance order either, so it's kind of like the important stuff might even be at the end. But the most important thing that you need to know is that you need to check the course announcements on a regular basis because this is a class where things are constantly changing. Like I might delete an assignment, I might add an assignment, I might move things around. Oh, hey, you have extra time to do this. And if you're not checking the announcements, you're not going to see that. Most importantly, we have 3 assignments in this class that are worth half your grade. They're called the Success Center assignments. In this class, we are not going to start those right away. I think we will be starting them in the middle of the semester somewhere. So it's very, very important that you're checking the course announcements so that way you don't miss that important information when it does come up. I will be, publishing that information, but if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. So it's very, very important that you this is my little chick, by the way. He's just sort of, if you have ADHD or you find that you have a struggle focusing, it's good to have something like this in your hand, like a little stress ball or something just to kind of help you focus. So that's why I've got him today as an example. I have quite a few of these little weird things that you could sort of play with while you're working. And that's kind of one of the things that this class is about, is giving you lots of tools and tricks and things that you can take with you and just use right away. All right, so I went over checking the announcements. And when I say check the announcements, I mean like check it a couple times a week because I post a lot of announcements and it's really the only place that I have to inform you of new things and things that are going on. People who do not check the course announcements don't do very well in this class because you need to check it. It's very important. It's like, it would be like at work if you didn't check your email or something, like you would just miss everything. Okay, so the next thing is you want to get your course materials. And so there are 3 things you need to purchase. The first one is this book on course. And I recommend you have 1 week to purchase it. So I recommend getting a book that's either at the bookstore that you could just grab and take with you. Or if you want to do Amazon and get it overnighted, cool. Or you could do the ebook. I actually recommend the ebook. I think the ebook is the way to go. It's the cheapest thing. You can rent it. I actually have a video on Canvas about how to purchase your books for the cheapest. So I say, handle it. Get this book and get the ebook and you'll be happy. And by the way, this is the instructor edition. I'm going to put it really close. So the book that you'll be getting will just be this. Like it'll be the teal and white. You won't have the navy border. It needs to be the 8th edition. Only the 8th edition will work for this class. Study Skills edition will not work. It must be the 8th edition of the textbook. It's called On Course, Strategies for Creating Success in College and in Life. And again, I have the video that tells you exactly where to go find the book. And the bookstore has it. Our next one is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. This book is very cheap. You can buy the audiobook. I think the audiobook might be like $15 or $16, but the book itself, like you can get, I think brand new, maybe it's like $15, but you could get it used for really cheap. However, be careful where you get this book because if you just go on Amazon and start clicking on, oh, let me get this book, it might take the whole semester for them to send it to you because it may not be sold by a store. It may be sold by a person who's used it. And if they're not paying attention to Amazon when you purchase it, it means they might not send it in time. So it's important that you buy a version or copy of the book that you will get right away. Also, there's a little tiny baby book going around that's just quotes. It looks very similar to this. It has the same cover, but it's really tiny. So you want to make sure you get the right dimensions. This looks like it may be 5x9 or 6x9, something like that. So look at the dimensions of the book to make sure you got the big book. I always have one person every semester that buys that little tiny quote book, and they're like, is this the right book? It's like, no, that's not right. Okay, the last thing you need to buy is a day planner. And I would say like something along these lines, like this size would be cool. I don't care how big or small it is. What I do care about is that it's daily or weekly. So that means when you open it up, you've got a day on each page, or you have the whole week on 2 pages. What I don't want is for you to have a monthly one, because those boxes are really small and you're not going to be able to write a lot of stuff in there. You are going to be using your day planner right away. I have a video on how to use the day planner, and I also have, a extensive written instructions, so you can read the written instructions or watch the video either way, and it will inform you on how to use your day planner. Okay, I'm going to take a moment just to say something to you guys. So I've been teaching this class a long time, like I said, and Guidance 507 is actually my favorite class to teach because you guys are going to learn so much. And what I love about this is that every semester students come to this class. They're not really super happy when they come. They're kind of like, why do I have to take this class? I would say they're annoyed, maybe like disappointed in themselves or the situation. Maybe they feel like they don't need the class or they don't belong here. But I just want to assure you that no matter what level you're at, like if you just had a bad semester because something bad happened, or you just weren't sure about where you were going and you weren't really paying attention, it doesn't really matter to me why you're here, honestly. Like, it doesn't. Because to me, everything that happened before is in the past, and we're always working forward towards a new future, new goals, a new life for ourselves. And if you have made mistakes in the past, then that makes you a human being, right? Like, we are all human beings. We all make mistakes. And so what I like about this class is you guys are here because you care about yourself and your education. And because you've made a mistake, you're making a choice to learn from that mistake by taking this class. Because this class is going to teach you all kinds of stuff that you need to know about not only being a good student, but also being a good person, and how to be effective, not just in school, but in your entire life. Because let's face it, like, all of the skills that you use in school are the same skills that you're going to be using, out in the world when you get a job. Or maybe some of you guys have jobs right now, and that's probably why you're in this situation in the first place, because maybe your job took up a lot of time, something like that, and you just didn't have enough hours in the day to do all the school that you signed up for. So we're going to talk about time management in this class. It is a big topic in here. And we're also going to talk about procrastination, like why we procrastinate. And I was thinking about that this weekend as I was working on the syllabus for this class, the Canvas for this class, the Canvas shell, because we use Canvas. If you are new to Chafee, you would know that. Maybe you wouldn't know that, but if you've been at Chafee, which I'm sure most of you guys have been, you do know that we use Canvas. However, I kind of use Canvas differently than other professors. And because of that, it's important that you watch my instructional videos on how to use Canvas, because I like to use module view. Module view is your friend in my class. I don't know about other classes, but one thing that bothers me about Canvas, or I just didn't like it when we first got Canvas, was that I would have to scroll through every single thing to get to the thing that I wanted. It annoyed me. And so I found the module view and I was like, oh, this is so much better, because in module view, I can see everything. So it's basically when you go on Canvas, you look on the left-hand side, there's a list of things you can click on modules, and then you'll see all the stuff that's available at once. And that'll be a lot easier for you. And I put little markers in there that divide everything by subject, so you could just easily go to what you're looking for and find it in the week that it appears in the syllabus. So it's a lot easier than like scrolling through just the assignment list or something like that. It has all the materials. It has all the lectures, all the materials, all the stuff you're going to need, except for the books and the day planner, which you're going to buy, right? Now, I have an assignment in, I think, week one's assignments, or maybe it's in the course introduction, where you have to turn in your books. So you're going to have to take your books, if you physically have them, and you're going to take a photo of them like this, but you can also do like just one at a time too, right? But if you do one at a time, it's really important that you listen, because Canvas is Canvas is finicky. Canvas has its little things that you have to know about. So I'm going to tell you. So the first thing you need to know about Canvas is that you have to upload all photos or all files at the same time. because if you try to upload them separately, they will, the newest one bumps out the old one. So it works like this. Like, let's say I put the picture of me with this odd course book in first. And then if I upload and then try to put this one in for the day planner, the day planner will bump this one out. And then the day planner will be the only thing there. So I have to put this photo up, then click, choose another, and then choose this one too, and then click choose another, and then click choose this one too, and then upload all 3 photos at the same time in order for all 3 photos to be available to me when I grade your stuff. So that's the first glitch Canvas does. The second glitch Canvas does that is so annoying is it times out. So I think it's about 5 minutes too. So maybe it's 10 minutes. I think it's 5 minutes. So like if you get up and go to the bathroom and you don't come back for longer than 5 minutes, when you get back to your work will look fine. It'll look like everything is just perfectly normal. And you'll even think that you can just type right into it, just keep going, and you'll just finish your assignment. But then when you go to upload it, that's when it says, oh, you're no longer logged in. And guess what? You lose your work. All of it. It's gone. This has happened to me countless times. And so that's why I am warning you. What a lot of people do is they'll do their work in another program. So I use Microsoft Office. So I use Microsoft Word or maybe even Google Docs. Some people use Pages. Those word processing programs are just fine. But what I recommend is that you just copy and paste the text into the text box for Canvas, because that's really the easiest way to upload things to make sure that there's no hiccups or problems or issues. Copy and paste. However, if you do insist on including a document, like uploading the actual document, you cannot link Google Docs. Do not link Google Docs. Do not link Dropbox. No assignment links. So like a link to your file will mean you didn't turn it in, because those links do not work in Canvas unless you have like a specific plugin or you have shared it properly, which no one knows how to do because it's a really complicated, in-depth, weird process that makes no sense to anybody. And that's why I stopped accepting those links to assignments, because most of the time they just weren't working anyways. So if you're tempted to do a link to an assignment, tell yourself, no, don't do this. And just copy and paste your text into Canvas, and you'll save everybody a lot of drama. I do not allow those links. So if you do turn in an assignment via a link, like a Google Docs link or a Dropbox link or a cloud link, and I click on it and it does not open, you will get a 0 for that assignment, because I'm saying right now, no links. Okay. If I click on it and it opens and I see the assignment in there, I will grade it. But I will tell you in the comments, no links to assignments. If you do a link in the future, you will get a 0 on that. So I'll give you a little warning, but that's just because I'm nice, okay? I am really nice, but I'm also really strict. And the reason I'm really strict is because, well, it's for your own good, honestly. Because I'm giving you, I guess let me explain. So I created this class to be a learning experience where you are immersed in the learning experience. The learning experience is not just you reading books, okay? It is, it's your actions. So as you start interacting with the course materials and interacting in the class, the whole class is designed as a time management exercise for you, so you can learn to manage your time more effectively. The course is also designed to force you to read instructions on assignments, because after much research, I have discovered that most students are not as successful as they could be, simply because they don't read the instructions on assignments and they don't follow directions properly. So they're losing points, not on anything like they got the answer wrong. No, they just did it wrong because they didn't read the instructions. That is like, most people's biggest error in school is that they assume that they know how to do something instead of reading the instructions. It's kind of like, when you get your iPhone and you're like, okay, I'm just going to start using it. I don't need the instructions, right? But in school, you really can't do that. You need to read the instructions. It's very, very important, because professors do change things up just to mess with you. And I will be doing that in this class, and I'm warning you now that you must read the instructions, because all of your points in this class, oh, here's my cat. All of your points, this is Pantera. She's a little black Bengal. They call them melanistic Bengal cats. She's a little black one. And she is just a sweetie. So let's see. What was I saying? I think she likes Mr. Chick here. But, oh yes, instructions. So yeah, following the instructions is most of your grade in the class, because what we're learning in this class is not difficult material. They're things that you probably have heard before, or you already know on some level, but you just need to be reminded, like a gentle reminder, like, hey, remember remember that you're supposed to do this. Oh, hey, also remember this. And I think we all know, like, we're supposed to manage our time, but maybe we don't know how. We've never been taught an effective way to do so. So that's what this class is about. It's about learning to manage yourself and your schedule and prioritize things that are most important, so that way you can get to your goals the fastest. Because if your goals aren't priorities, then you're never going to reach those goals. So we talk a lot about goal setting. We talk a lot about motivation. We talk a lot about strategy. We talk a lot about working with others, how to, I guess, networking and making friends along the way. We talk about study skills also. So things like, reading, writing. We talk about organizing your study materials, preparing for tests, studying for tests, things like that. And then, of course, like things like test anxiety and whatnot. This book is invaluable in terms of study skills and really delving a little deeper into why are you the type of student that you are. We're going to be taking some quizzes and assessments that tell us what type of student we are, what type of learner we are, and how we are going to go about, learning, because not everybody learns the same way. And so we have to kind of adapt ourselves to whatever class we're taking, because it's not the teacher's responsibility to make sure you learn. It's your responsibility to make sure you learn. So if you don't learn something, it's because maybe you didn't ask a question. And that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about here. It's like, why should you ask questions? What is important about asking questions? Why do people not do that? We talk about things like that all the time in here. Okay, what did I do? Kidding. What did I do with my, oh, here it is, my list. So please pardon me for just a moment while I just find my list, because I got all excited and closed my book. It was like saved on that page. So while I'm looking, I'm actually really excited about this semester. And I wanted to let you know that in week 1 stuff, I have posted a bunch of course testimonials from students who have taken the class in the previous semesters. So I posted, fall of 2022 and then also spring 2022. I think I went back to maybe fall of 2021. So you can kind of take a look at what people have to say who have actually finished the class, because I'm always so happy when I see that students have done such a good job in the class, that they are so happy and pleased with themselves and happy and pleased with what they've learned. And they leave a really positive review of the class that for you guys, and they're leaving them for you. So because when they were sitting in your shoes, they had certain feelings. They were feeling a certain way about being in the class. But now, at the end of the class, they're like, wow, those people who were sitting at the beginning of the class, I need to tell them how this went, because it went really, really well. Now, not everybody finishes the class. And so I'm going to give you a couple of pointers. If you want to finish the class, these are the things that you should do. Okay, the first one is attend the office hours. I'm going to be offering extra credit to attend office hours this week, or this semester, this term. It's so weird because it's not really a full semester, because we're 14 weeks and a full semester at Chafee is 18 weeks. So we get 4 weeks shaved off. And because of that, you are not doing certain assignments that I would be giving you if this was the 18-week class. But I feel like the 14-week class is pretty comprehensive and you get all the important stuff, but maybe you don't have some of the harder projects. So this is actually a good way to take the class. Okay, so I did mention the technical problems on Canvas. Okay, I didn't mention this. So if Canvas isn't working, so let's say, so The way I do my assignments is every week on Monday, I will post the assignments for the week. And those assignments will be due on the following Monday by 11:59 p.m. If you miss that deadline, and trust me, it will be exactly 11:59 p.m. The assignment will shut down. It will no longer take or accept entries or assignments at that time. So you do need to make sure that you get your assignments in by the due date, 11:59 p.m. Now, my goal for you is for you to turn in your work on Friday, the Friday before the work is due. So that way you have the whole weekend to do whatever you want. Okay. So, and that's my goal too. I always aim to try to get my work done by Friday. So I do it during the week. But, sometimes I can't achieve it. I just have too much to do. I actually I'm working 3 jobs right now. So I'm pretty busy, and I'm sure you guys are very busy as well. And I know some of you maybe have too much going on. Maybe you're taking too many classes for the number of work hours that you're, involved in. And I know I'm definitely overdoing it right now. So I have to be really extra careful about how I manage my time if I want to get everything accomplished. I can get everything graded by Friday, but oftentimes I really can't get everything posted until at the end of the weekend. But hey, you know what? If I can motivate myself to get most of my work done before Friday, I'm going to do that. So that's what I want to see you try to do. Do not wait till Monday to turn in your assignments. Turn them in early, please. Because that way, if you run into a problem or a hiccup or an error or whatever, you can ask for assistance. The best way to reach me, by the way, is via text. My phone number is 909-224-1204. That phone number will be in emails I send out. It'll be in the announcements. It'll be in the syllabus, which, by the way, I will not be posting the course syllabus until week 2. And the reason why is because we have these big success center assignments that are worth half of your grade. And right now, they just switched, I guess, the whole program that they're using to deliver those workshops. And because of that, they're having some technical difficulties. And so I've decided to go ahead and push back our involvement with those success center activities a few weeks so we can kind of figure out what's going on. So I haven't figured it quite out yet. And so I don't want to put the syllabus out until I have that handled or until I have that solved, that mystery solved. So that's what's going on with that. Next week, you will be asked to sign this contract called the syllabus contract. The syllabus contract is important because it basically says you understand that what goes on in the class is confidential. Like what we talk about in Canvas in our course is between us. Like we're not going to go talk about what someone said in Canvas to our family or friends. It stays here. This class is kind of like a self-help class in a way because we're going to be talking about a lot of really deep emotional topics. And that's why I want to make sure that you understand that going in before you actually get into the meat of the class. So for week 2, I'm going to require that you sign the syllabus contract at the beginning of the week. You will not be able to access the course materials for week 2 until you sign that contract. So it will be at the top of week 2, and you should be able to see the rest of the stuff, but you will not be able to access that stuff until you turn in that contract. And I will be, sending out announcements about that. But again, if you didn't watch this video and you didn't check the announcements, you might be really confused. And that's why it's really important that you do check the announcements on a regular basis so you do know what's going on and you're not confused. Okay, so if for some reason you're trying to turn in an assignment in Canvas and it's not working, email that assignment to me right away at that moment and give me a text or call right then. Even if I don't answer, leave me a message, leave me a text explaining when it happened, because in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to look at what time you sent me that. Okay? If you sent it to me before the deadline, so let's say it was 11 o'clock and you sent it at 11 and the due date is 11:59 p.m. and you're like, Canvas isn't working, I'm sending you my assignments via email, this is a text to let you know, I'll be fine with that because I will have proof that you turned that in before the deadline and that you let me know that Canvas wasn't working. Please do not just email me stuff without letting me know, because honestly, sometimes Students will email from a non-Chafee email, and I don't get those emails. They're like they quarantine them, and I just don't get them. So if you don't tell me, hey, I emailed something and I don't get it, like, because I don't see it, then and then 3 weeks later you're like, hey, did you get my assignments? I'm gonna be like, no, I did not. So and then I have to ask myself, okay, do I give this person credit 3 weeks later, or what? Now, if you do not send the assignments to me via email, so let's say it's 11 and you just text me and say, hey, Dr. Borgi, Canvas isn't working. Can I email my assignments? Okay. And I wake up in the morning and I see, okay, it was 11. And then I look at the email and I see you haven't emailed me. I'm not going to allow you to email those assignments in the morning because that gives you the whole night to work on it. And that's not fair. Do you understand? So you have to prove to me that you had it completed before the deadline if you want me to accept it, not on Canvas. Does that make sense? Because that's fair. And I'm fair. I'm just fair to all students. So it's like, I'm not going to treat anybody with favoritism or differently than anyone else. Everyone has the same rules. Okay? So if the internet dies for some reason, like let's say it's just your house, then I'm not going to, you know what? People's internet dies all the time. Mine dies all the time. You need a backup location to go use internet if your internet's dead. There is a link in Canvas. There is a Chafee. It's like a little plug thing you plug into your computer, and I don't know what they call those, like a hotspot. Yeah, so it's like a hotspot, and you pay like $25 a month for it, and it gives you internet anywhere you go. And it's through Chafee, and I do have it linked in. I think it's in one of my. It says read this first. So the section that says read this first in Canvas has that little thing in it. So if you really want internet that's a backup, that's a good backup because it's a different it's because I have Spectrum where I'm at, so and they go down a lot. So it's nice to have like a backup internet. And for me, like I have a couple people's houses I could go to if I really need to, get my internet stuff handled or get some stuff handled on the internet, and I don't have internet at my house. So you need to do that too. So if it's just your house, it's not a good excuse because remember, I want you to get your work turned in on Friday ahead of time. So even if your internet goes out, it's not like a crisis. But if it's Monday night and your internet goes out and you want me to give you more time because your internet was out, I'm going to say no. Just know that. It's going to be a no. And I think a lot of people are like, that's not fair. Well, you know what? Honestly, it's because a lot of students in this program have abused that excuse to the point where I no longer accept that excuse. So you can thank all those people from the other, from my other classes that were lying and full of crap when they were saying their internet was down and they needed extra time. So we don't do extra time if your internet is down. If there is a widespread outage, like across all of Rancho Cucamonga or all of the Inland Empire, yes, I will give you more time. Let's see. I already went over that. Oh, okay. So Zoom meetings. So I do want to talk about that real quick. So I have Zoom meetings that are already scheduled for this semester, and I will be posting them in the announcements at the beginning of the term. So that means tomorrow or whenever today, whatever day you log in. Right now it's Sunday, January 29th. The class starts, Monday, January 30th. So on Monday, January 30th, you will see that list published in announcements. I will also probably post it somewhere in like Canvas, probably in the course introduction. So it's just easily accessible for you. But I will be offering 15 points of extra credit for attending each one of those meetings. However, I really do want you to get in the habit of going to the office hours and just checking in and saying hi for a minute. Now, I know some of you struggle with, time, and maybe the times that I have available don't work for you. And I get that. That's why it's extra credit. You don't have to do it. It's extra. But if you are available, handle it. So my availability, I think with the Zoom meetings, most of them are in the evenings. And I would say there's some from 5:30 to 6:30, some from 6 to 7, and some from 7 to 8. That's because that's when I'm free. I am not free during the day because I'm currently working at a school as a long-term substitute teaching special ed kids who are around 5th grade age. So that's really fun. I enjoy it. But yeah, that means I'm busy like Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 3:30. So I'm really not available till after 3:30 on weekdays. And so all the office hours are on weekdays and they're all in the evening. And so if you work evenings, you may not be able to attend the office hours. I get it. Or maybe you can real quick on your phone. You know what I mean? So you can attend Zoom meetings on your phone. That's absolutely fine. So if you could just sneak out of work or do it on a work break or something like that, that would be awesome. And then you could get your 15 points of extra credit. I tend to meet with students for about 5 minutes at a time. So like there's a waiting room and they'll be in the waiting room, and then I'll have people come in one at a time and I'll talk to you for a few minutes about whatever the meeting's about. Some of the meetings are like, I think the first one is like, welcome to the class. Hey, just come meet me, come say hi. The second one I think is probably about the drop deadline that's coming up, and then there's a bunch of check-ins, and then there's another drop deadline one. So yeah, because there's 2 drop deadlines in the class. So yeah. So the next thing, I talked about the syllabus contract. So this is the order that I would like you to do stuff each week. This is me saying do it this way. I don't know how you are going to do it. You can do it however you want, I suppose, but I designed it for you to do it this way. Okay, so the first thing you should do each week, check the syllabus. So once you get the syllabus, I do honor it. So like if I screw up something and you point it out, I'm going to honor whatever's on there. Okay. And if it needs a change or update, I will update it by posting an announcement saying there's an update to the syllabus. So again, if you don't check the announcements, you're going to miss like updates. So it's important that you check it. So check your syllabus. You're going to write the assignments from the syllabus, not from Canvas. Remember I told you, from the syllabus. Take the syllabus, print it out, go through it every week, and then take those assignments and put them into your day planner. So you'll put them in the day planner one of 2 ways. You'll either put them on the due date. So you'll list all the assignments that are due on that date, and then you go back and figure out when you're going to work on each one. Or you can do it the opposite way. You can put them on the dates you're going to do them and then put the due date. That's up to you. Next, you're going to do all the readings. So I do have readings assigned that are in the syllabus. So you want to do those readings first. It's important that you read first before you do the assignments, because how are you supposed to do the assignments on work or on information that you haven't even read yet? So read first, then do that. Now, if you are going to read, you should always take notes. So that way you don't have to go back and reread the notes later. We will talk about how to do really good note taking during reading when we study muscle reading. But until then, just take the best notes that you can while you're reading and think about like what is going to be on the test, what's important, okay? Then you're going to go to the modules tab in Canvas, and you're going to take a look this week at the course intro and week 1. And you want to go through and click on each individual thing and see what it's about. If there's a video, watch it. If there's something to read it. If there's an assignment, do it, okay? And then I would say do the assignments first. So do any assignments, and then lastly, do the discussions. The discussions are designed as if you've already done all the stuff, and it's the last thing you're doing. So you may be confused or not understand what the discussion is even asking or about unless you've done the reading and the homework. Does that make sense? So the discussions are the last thing you should do. I do put a list of weekly assignments at the top of each week in module view, but again, I still want you to use the course syllabus as your guide through the class. If you fail to do that, you will probably run into some troubles along the way. And that's because sometimes it's just like I'm checking to make sure that you're following directions and using your syllabus. So I don't want to say I'm like trying to trick you, but I'm just trying to make sure you're paying attention. Okay. So what else? Oh, there's no late work in this class. I should have said that like way ages ago, but I think my head is just really stuffy from all these allergies and stuff. But yeah, I don't accept late work for any reason. You cannot make up quizzes or tests either. I do have a significant amount of extra credit available in the class, though, to make up some of the work if you were to miss some of the work. However, the ones you don't want to miss because they're so important, they're really big point assignments, are the success center assignments. There are 3 of them. There's a mindset, there's a time management, and there's a learning strategies. And those 3 assignments are worth half of your grade together, but each one is worth a whole letter grade towards your grade. So if you were to do just those 3 assignments, you would still fail the class, though, because that's half your grade and half is still 50%, which is an F. So you do have to do the other assignments. I have to clarify that because I had one semester where a student was like, but I did all the success center activities. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't do any of the other work. You do have to do a lot of the other work too. So there's a lot of assignments in this class. If you look it over, it's a lot. And the reason why there's so many is because I told you I set this class up as a time management exercise. So the more assignments you have, actually, the more things you have to juggle, the better for you to learn time management. So that makes sense. But also, it's better for you to earn a better grade because the more assignments there are in the class, the less each one is worth. And that means there's a little more wiggle room if you do miss something. Like if I only had 5 assignments in the whole class and you missed 2, that might not be a passing grade. But if, like I have it, if there's a lot of assignments, then if you miss one, it's like, okay, cool. And I do have that extra credit as sort of like a safety net. So the way the course is set up, it is easy for you to figure out how to get the grade that you want. You look at the point total. So I have in the syllabus at the very end of it, there's a point breakdown that literally breaks down all the points in the entire class. And you can take a look and figure out, okay, I need this many points to get this grade. So what assignments am I going to do? Now, you can miss some assignments and throw in some extra credit assignments instead. So like if you don't like a particular assignment, you're like, I just don't want to do that. You don't have to. You could just not do that one and do extra credit instead. But what happens is a lot of people are like, well, I don't need extra credit because I'm going to do all the work. And they miss some of the extra credit at the beginning. And then when they do need it at the end, they're like, why didn't I do the extra credit? So the extra credit is woven throughout the term. So I do load a bunch of it at the end because I know that's when people need it most. But my recommendation would be to do extra credit anytime you see it available so you can build up some extra points and put yourself in a position where if something bad happens, you're okay. You know what I mean? That's why the extra credit's there. So you can be smart about it and do it on the front end and not have to worry so much at the end of the semester. Or you could be lazy at the beginning and then have to bust your butt at the end. It's up to you. Okay, so there are 9 hours a week of work in this class. And some students, I think, have really been like, what? 9 hours? That's ridiculous. I've never had a class take that much time. And, funny enough, it's like, that's how much all 3-unit classes should take. I mean, that's the standard for all classes. So I'm just giving you the amount of time that it actually takes to complete the class. I'm doing what you're supposed to do. It should take that amount of time. So if you have classes that are taking less time than that, then that just means that your teacher isn't requiring of you, I guess, what they should be requiring of you. Or they're not giving you the amount of work that, you're paying to get. So I'm giving you your money's worth here. I know you're like, Dr. Borgi, come on. But really, the 9 hours is good. So it's 9 hours. It's 3 hours of reading, 3 hours of, homework and assignments, and probably, a 3 hours of watching videos and watching materials and things like that. So 3, 3, and 3. And that's each week. So you want to take a look at your schedule and make sure that this is a good fit for you and that you can put in that amount of work, because the amount of work that you put in is going to be the amount of, amazing that you get out of the class, because this class is designed to help you change and grow into a exceptional student and human being, and to bring out the best parts of you and help you to highlight what it is you want out of life and figure out a path to get to that. It's really good stuff. And it's the kind of stuff that's going to lead you to the type of success that you want in the future. So 9 hours a week for 14 weeks is nothing for what you're going to get in return. But you have to be invested and you have to put forth that effort in order to get the rewards from the class. You are going to transform if you stay here and if you put in your 100%. Every student that stays here and does the work, puts in that time, transforms. And they transform into a better person, a better student, a better grasp on what they want, a better grasp on how to get what they want, and more self-confidence. Just way more self-confidence, confidence in themselves and their abilities, and understanding that failure is just a part of the learning process, and understanding that everybody is kind of struggling. We're all working hard and we're doing our best, but nobody knows everything. And so if you're sitting over there thinking, I don't want to do all this work, it's going to be hard. Yes, it is. It will be hard. But it's not the kind of hard where you're like, oh gosh, my brain is going to explode. It's not like math, it's not like chemistry. It's hard work. Like, I got to look inward at myself and ask myself, what is it I truly want? Where am I going? What path am I on? Is this the right path for me? Am I working too much? Am I, burning the candle at both ends? Am I exhausting myself? Am I balanced? That kind of stuff. All right. So if you are not going to take the class, like let's say you're like, no, 9 hours a week is ridiculous. There's no way. Dr. Borgi, you're nuts. There's no way I'm doing that. Okay, cool. I'm cool with you dropping. If you want to drop, please do. Please drop, actually. Don't just stay in the class, because after you enter the class, so once you're enrolled, I'm not going to drop you unless there's a reason. Okay? So if you didn't sign the syllabus contract anytime during week 2, then I will drop you. So if you want to be dropped, that's the way to do it. Just don't sign the syllabus contract. And at the end of that week, I will look and see who hasn't signed it, and I will drop those people. Because I don't want you to continue in the class unless you are willing to sign that contract and say that you get that what we're doing in the class is confidential. You understand that we're going to be talking about some really intense things. There might be some cussing, things like that. Okay. I do use materials that use curse words. I don't know. I'm a pretty liberal person. I'm not like the word fuck does not offend me, but if it offends you, maybe this isn't the right class for you. And there are other sections of this class taught by other instructors who may not use that word. I don't know. But sometimes I do. What else? Oh, yeah. So drop the class if you're not going to take the class. After that week where I drop from the syllabus contract, like if you didn't sign it, after that week, if you're in the class and you've signed that syllabus contract, no one's going to drop you unless you drop yourself. And there is a firm drop deadline. And I think for this class, let me just look real quick because I do have it written down here somewhere. For this class, the drop deadline. Okay, so the last day to drop without a W is Valentine's Day, 2/14. The last day to drop with a W is 4/6. So that's April 6th. So you have till April 6th to drop the class, but if you drop after Valentine's Day, you will have a W on your transcript saying that you entered the class, but then you withdrew. And if you already have a lot of withdrawals, you may not want to do that. So I would recommend talking to the Opening Doors office, to Julie Law or one of the other counselors, to determine if dropping the class would actually hurt you more than help you, because it may. Okay, so we do have quizzes in this class. They're not every week. They're like every other week-ish. We have 6 quizzes, and then we also have a final exam, and we have like a little mini quiz next week. So the mini quiz next week will be on the contents of week 1 in Canvas. I just want to make sure that you've reviewed the important things. So I'm going to ask you questions about it. And it's a very brief quiz. The other quizzes are a little longer and they're worth 50 points. And this quiz is, I think, worth 20 or something like that. So it's not as big a deal. The final is only worth 100 points. I'm just putting that out there. If you look at the whole scheme of things, like if a Success Center activity is worth 500 points and a quiz is worth 50 and there's 6 of them. The final exam is worth 100 points. A regular assignment is worth like 20 to 40 points. So that's kind of the breakdown of different assignments. Please don't rely on the assignments tab in Canvas. So like, when you're looking at Canvas on the left-hand side, the modules is over there. Well, there's also a section called assignments, and then there's a separate one called discussions. So in the assignments tab, the problem with that is quizzes are not in it and discussions are not always in it. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. It's very weird and very glitchy. So that's why I'm saying use your course syllabus every week to let you know what you should be working on, and then go find that thing in Canvas. That's an easier way to make sure that you accomplish everything that you're supposed to do during the week. Okay? Some study tools for you. Right now I think, like, because I have Mr. Chick here, he's so cute. But I mean, I like to just be able to grab onto stuff while I am, studying. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that they really just need to keep their hands busy and maybe their mouth busy. Some people like to chew gum. Some people like to have background noise on. I like to watch YouTube videos while I work. I can't pay attention to them, but it's just, I like to have that noise in the background. It helps me focus. Some people like purple noise or black noise or white noise in the background. It's up to you. But my cat is obsessed with this thing. She loves it. Let me see if I have some of my other Syllabus tools. Oh, I have a rainbow dash over here. Sometimes I like to play with her while I'm working. And I don't know what it is, but it's just, she's fun to like swing around. I'll be on the phone, just kind of, my cat loves it. I'll just be, doing this kind of stuff. It's very fun and exciting. Yeah, she loves it. Do you like Rainbow Dash? She cute? Yeah. What a sweet kitty. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm sure I forgot some stuff, but it's okay, because if you're checking the announcements, if I forgot something, I'll just throw it in there. It looks like it got dark outside while I was doing this lecture, but I just want to say welcome. Honestly, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And I can't wait to get to know you guys a little better when we're in the class and, I'm reading your work and giving you comments. Oh, that's the other thing. So after you get your assignments back from me, I do grade them and I do put comments on them, and I try to give you constructive feedback, things that will help you to be better, or I'll notice something that's going on, and I'll want to say something about it to you. So it's very important that you go back and take a look at those assignments after the fact. I will be posting a video in announcement. So when I tell you, hey, I just finished your grading, here's the video on how to check your assignments. So I will post that video along with that announcement, so you will know how to go check your assignments. It's not really intuitive. You can just go back and click on the assignment and look at it that way, but it actually is a lot easier if you go to the grade section and then just click on it through there. So I think that's it. So I guess I will see you guys in Canvas, and I'm excited to start this 14 weeks with you, and I can't wait to see how all of you guys transform during the term. All right, bye.